Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. So who saw this on Twitter yesterday? BTR is 1 year old. Did you guys happen to see that? Just like everybody else? Okay, what was with everybody posting this on Twitter? I still can't figure it out, but I found that my feed was just loaded with this BitTrue official notice that they're giving away $100,000 or whatever. Some prominent people too that I follow on Twitter were posting this, and so I'm assuming it's something big. I don't know. I didn't bother to look into it. Neither did Justine, apparently. Bye-bye, BitTrue. She apparently has now blocked, or rather muted the words BitTrue and BTR forever. Yeah, it was getting a little annoying yesterday. As I'm scrolling through Twitter, I'm assuming I'm going to see XRP related news, and instead I'm seeing post upon post upon post with this blue logo, this blue BitTrue graphic card. So if any of you guys have any idea what that was about, I'm sure a lot of you probably do, put it in the comments section. And guys, the liquidity index bot, check this out. As we were seeing declines over the last month, now we're starting to see a bit of an uptick again. So this is the liquidity index bot. Showing us the liquidity for the XRP euro pair. This in green, we can see a bit of a rebound. The Philippine peso in orange, a bit of a rebound here. XRP to the PHP. This is XRP to the AUD. Another bit of a rebound down there. And here for the Mexico corridor, XRP MXN, a significant bump in liquidity. So last month, Ashish Birla was saying that, the liquidity might look different this month. And sure enough, it did. It had decreased significantly, but now we're seeing a little bit of a bump. I wonder what that means. I know there were some speculating in the space that, they were going to abandon this project and that it was, they were going to maybe try a different approach. But now we're seeing a bump of liquidity again. So could it be something else? Could they have been retooling something over the month of June? In order to maybe get that volume up even higher? Of course, guys, I'm just speculating as well. We don't really know. It is interesting to see, though. It's great that we have tools like this where we can monitor and follow all kinds of different metrics on the XRPL. So very, very interesting to see that. Guys, the crypto space, still moving sideways. I got Bitcoin here on the daily, and I bring up XRP. Still same kind of pattern, not really getting out of any kind of sideways movement here. So let me just bring it back to Bitcoin. It's funny. The summer is usually, at least for the stock market, it is usually fairly slow. We don't really see too much volume. A lot of people are on vacation. I wonder if this is going to change this year with more staycations, perhaps. Maybe we'll see more traders trading because you can't really go anywhere for vacation. Well, I mean, you can, but my assumption is not a lot of people will be. So I wonder what this volume is going to look like. The S&P 500 trying to push up here a little bit, but of course we know the summer historically is slow for traders. Let's bring up the Dow Industrial Average. Same kind of pattern there. If we see the market slump, I think during the summer we will also likely see crypto slump. And then when we see an uptick, we will likely see a crypto uptick. I think that there is still too much uncertainty in the space right now. And we still just need to kind of gauge what's going on in the world before we really see some movement, unless something really significant happens for cryptocurrency specifically. And there are a lot of possibilities for something to happen. So first of all, Chase's resolved technical issue. This was from the weekend, guys. So Chase's resolved technical issue that caused thousands of reports of incorrect account balances. I don't know if this affected any of you guys, but apparently there were customers that woke up in the morning on Sunday and realized that, some people missing over $1,000 in their account. So there were different debits and credits from customers' accounts that they had not initiated. And so people obviously were quite upset about this, especially the people who were debited money that they did not spend. Apparently it was a technical glitch. And JPM just said, it was, something that was technical. There were some updates being made, and now we have resolved it. No real other explanation other than that. Although, do you guys find that we're seeing more and more of this recently? We're seeing, a coin shortage. We're seeing glitches in the system, some shutdowns in certain parts. People reporting that the ATMs in their communities have gone missing. The system that we currently use is very old, and I'm sure that there is retooling going on behind the scenes, especially if there is going to be this push for a cashless society. We haven't heard much from the US government with regard to a push for digital. They're still kind of on the sidelines with that. Although, this from Michael at Val5 Links, not every US lawmaker is on board with the idea of a central bank digital currency or digital dollar, but no one explicitly rejected it during a hearing of the powerful Senate Banking Committee just yesterday. So guys, this just happened yesterday. That's probably the biggest takeaway from Tuesday's hearing, where a panel heard from former regulator turned CBDC evangelist Chris Giancarlo, Paxos CEO Charles Cascarilla, and Duke law professor Nikita Kutino as expert witnesses. So the lawmakers ask questions about financial inclusion, including what potential regulations or laws might make digitization easier and more accessible to the unbanked. The U.S. needs a digital dollar, said Senator Tom Cotton. The U.S. dollar has to keep earning that place in the global payment system. It has to be better than Bitcoin. It has to be better than a digital yuan. This is what he's stating in order for the USD to remain that global reserve currency, because right now it is being threatened by so many other options that are out there. Here are some of the highlighted points from the hearing. Chairman Mike Crapo noted some traditional financial systems may be limited to how accessible they are, citing the need for pre-existing bank accounts. Fintech solutions such as stablecoins can provide an alternative. Crapo said, though there are concerns around the oversight of some of these coins, which, unlike most cryptocurrencies, are designed to hold their value relative to fiat. So a discussion there with regards to stablecoins. Ranking member Sherrod Brown warned that tech companies have made large promises about disrupting existing industries. I think he's pointing towards Facebook. He pointed to ride sharing and social media services, saying they promised to build a more just and equal country, but instead the companies essentially found ways to pay themselves. You got to be careful with these private companies that are data collection companies, i.e., I think all the social media companies. I don't think that there is one social media company that doesn't collect your data and sells it. Another one here, while only 8 senators asked questions out of 25 on the committee, every question was relevant to the topic of digitizing payments, which you can't always count on. Recall last year's off-the-rails Facebook grillings. Coutinho called for open access to real-time payments. In the absence of public policy addressing open access and real-time payments, low-income and moderate-income Americans will continue to have limited resources needed, whether by traditional fringe services like payday loans or some novel fringe service. So this argument here, Ripple could really fix that problem currently with just the technology that they have. We just need clearer regulation for that. So another point here, the current accounts-based payment architecture in use today is slow and exclusionary, Giancarlo said. While token-based architecture is not a panacea, it can help provide broader access. Cascarilla said a federal framework towards regulating crypto companies would be beneficial, though he noted that his company operates nationwide despite operating under the New York Department of Financial Services Limited Purpose Trust Charter. But ultimately, this is speaking towards a more clear regulatory framework for cryptocurrency. So a lot on the table there. It sounds like they are still hammering a lot of that out. Thought that was important for the crypto space as a whole. And did you guys see what Marcus Treacher is speaking about in this next article? So we got this here posted by 321XRP on Twitter. Marcus Treacher says this presents the industry with a tremendous opportunity to upgrade its services much faster, helping societies worldwide recover more quickly from the shocks of the beer flu pandemic. Okay, this is an article from itproportal.com, and you guys know Marcus Treacher works at Ripple. But he talks about Swift and its migration delay to the ISO 20022 standard and how it's actually become detrimental to society and other companies. So he says, Swift has said its migration delay to ISO 20022 is to ensure that financial institutions, both large and small, have the requisite time to make needed changes at whatever pace is comfortable for them. While this delay accommodates many financial institutions who are struggling to meet the previously agreed 2021 deadline, it will hurt thousands of others who are ready to migrate and already migrating to the standard. This goes on to say the challenges surfaced by the global lockdowns of 2020 have made efforts to streamline international payments all the more urgent, such as helping migrant workers maintain vital payments to families back home. When traditional branch visits are no longer possible, this intensified demand for a much better digital cross-border payment experience has lit a fire under the industry, creating a real need to adopt ISO 20022, as well as game-changing blockchain technologies. So he's agreeing with the sentiments that I have echoed in former videos. The fact that this beer flu pandemic exists, this should be the fire under the butts of so many different organizations around the world to adopt this standard quicker, yet we are not seeing that. I know a lot of us in the space thought we were going to see that, and Marcus Treacher's even pointing this out. This should be a priority. So this presents the industry with a tremendous opportunity to upgrade its services much faster, helping societies worldwide recover more quickly from the beer flu pandemic. Interesting to say the least, guys. I will link this tweet in the description, and the article is embedded in the tweet if you want to read that full article by Marcus Treacher. And the scams in the space continue, guys. This from Mac Attack XRP. Yet another elaborate XRP scam has surfaced. So guys, essentially just be careful. I'll show you the screen grab just in case you want a visual image of what you should be looking out for. Financial quantitative easing for the Ripple community. So this is what the email, or this is what the post will look like. Ultimately, what they're saying is that they are promising financial quantitative easing for the XRP community hard hit by the crypto market downturn. This email promises a share of over 5 million XRP that will be unlocked by Ripple in a bid to cushion the XRP community from the effects of the remittance coin losing value in the crypto markets. Below is a screenshot. So again, I showed you that screenshot, guys. Just beware of this. There are numerous scams that are occurring in the XRP community. Ripple was brought to our attention by Ripple back in November 2019. There's another tweet up here from Tiffany Hayden just a few days ago, June 26th, with another scam. So these guys are being relentless. Don't keep your crypto on an exchange, and don't fall for this kind of thing. The number one rule one should go by is, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Keep your XRP safe on a ledger, guys. I have an affiliate link in the description if you still don't have a ledger. I suggest you get one if you have invested more than $100 in crypto and you plan on seeing it moon. A $100 investment is not that big in the grand scheme of things. So again, you can use my affiliate link. You do not have to use my affiliate link. I have it there. If you guys do use it, it would help the channel out, and I always do appreciate that. But let me continue, guys, with this. The Cryptic Poet, at One Cryptic Poet here on Twitter. Washington, D.C. lawyers can accept cryptocurrency as payment now. Okay, so this from Bloomberg Law, and apparently lawyers in the nation's capital can accept cryptocurrency as payment for legal services as long as the fee agreement is fair and reasonable and the lawyer can safeguard the virtual property. This from DC's bar. This is what they said in an ethics opinion paper. Attorneys cannot hold back the tides of change even if they would like to, and cryptocurrency is increasingly becoming accepted as a payment method by vendors and service providers, including lawyers, as June opinion from the bar's Legal Ethics Committee stated. But acknowledging the sometimes volatile nature of virtual currencies, the committee added that the fairness to the client of such fee arrangements should be judged at the time they're made, not when they become improvident. Let me just continue down here. The opinion noted that the IRS treats cryptocurrency as property rather than currency for tax purposes, and it agreed that payment of fees in cryptocurrency is more akin to payment in property than payment in fiat currency. So look at that, guys. You need a lawyer. You can pay him in crypto. It is legal so long as they are willing to accept cryptocurrency. Or do they have a choice? Can you say, I choose to pay you in crypto and you do not have a choice? I don't know. They must have a choice on whether they want to be paid in crypto or not. Anyway, thought that was kind of interesting for Washington, D.C. lawyers. I'm going to keep moving along here, guys. This from the XRP Arcade. XR Exchange lists XRP with the Iranian Rial pair. And Leo points out, better late than never, it was back in December 2018 that XRP won a poll conducted by XR on which cryptocurrency to list next. Boy, that seems like forever ago. According to our information, the listing was delayed due to a lack of liquidity. However, on May 27, 2020, XR announced the addition of XRP along with the release of its newly updated platform. This is the second exchange to list XRP in Iran after Nobitex in February 2019. XR has been added to our markets page, so now XR has listed XRP paired with the Iranian Rial, another on-off ramp for trading XRP in that part of the world in Iran. So that's great to hear. The more access options there are, the better it's going to be, guys. I can't stress this enough. Back in 2017, it was nowhere near this easy to buy and sell XRP for the common person. I was stressed looking for a way to buy XRP back in 2017, right before the rally, and Binance was the option that I finally went with. The exchanges were all clogged up. Nobody could get through anywhere, but Binance came through. And now we're just seeing, more and more of these exchanges listing XRP. Even if you don't live in this part of the world, it's great for the adoption. It's great for liquidity, and it's going to be great in that next bull run, especially if people understand the concept of transferring with certain cryptocurrencies versus other cryptocurrencies because of the speed, efficiency, cost, everything that XRP is good at doing. Another one here, guys, from XRP Arcade. HNB sees a rapid increase in digital remittances and uses RippleNet. So they are the 5th largest bank in Sri Lanka, and they announced a 15% year-on-year increase in digital remittance despite the beer flu lockdown, as cardless withdrawals for Lankan expatriates and the HNB RippleNet blockchain facility for enterprise helped ease the difficulties faced by customers. And that is the Hatton National Bank, guys. While foreigner remittances have reduced in the wake of the beer flu pandemic, many Sri Lankans continue to live and work overseas while remitting money to support their loved ones back home, said Sanjay Wajemi, HNB Deputy General Manager. Retail and SME banking, in many instances, the pandemic heightened the urgency for customers to ensure funds where available locally. In order to ensure their safety during the process, numerous customers had turned to cardless withdrawals. While these are challenging circumstances, we believe digital remittances have helped to ease the difficulties faced by customers and helped to build their confidence in digital platforms and cardless transactions. So Sri Lanka on RippleNet as well through the Hatton National Bank, realizing that remittance payments is important for their people. Obviously, many people still living abroad need to send money back. So it only makes sense for these countries to get onto RippleNet and to be able to expedite their cryptocurrency regulation so that this is a seamless process for their people and by extension, their national economies. So interesting news there coming out of Sri Lanka. We also got this, guys, from XRP Crypto Wolf. Ripple's early investor SBI has taken a $30 million stake in cryptocurrency institutional prime broker B2C2. And so, on the heels of this new partnership with Japanese investing giant SBI Holdings, crypto market making firm B2C2 has announced plans to expand its business to cover a range of services that it says would bring it closer to becoming a crypto prime broker. The move follows a flurry of prime broker related news from firms like BitGo, Coinbase, and Genesis Global Trading. Among the oldest operating market makers in the digital space, B2C2 is best known for helping large investors execute multi-million-dollar trades over the counter. This month, the UK-based firm will roll out a new automated financing service to complement its existing execution services. And guys, SBI Holdings now holds a $30 million stake in this company. We know SBI very heavily aligned with Ripple and a big proponent of the XRP token. So could it be incorporated within this next project? It certainly could down the line. There's obviously no mention of it at the moment, but these things will take time. It's a matter of seeing the connections and really understanding, grasping the concept that even if Ripple and XRP aren't going to be directly working with all these separate companies, by extension, the partnerships and the XRP utility, that's what's going to create the ecosystem. That's what's going to ultimately give XRP value. Ultimately, the end goal for you and I, we care that XRP has value, and so by extension, and so when we see this kind of thing, even if XRP and Ripple hasn't been named directly, it does really speak to the point of cryptocurrency adoption, and especially within the fintech realm, XRP being that one cryptocurrency that was designed to do all this, and not only that, on top of everything else, that it is interoperable, really does get me excited for how this will all roll out. Guys, I'm going to keep going here because we got a lot today. This SBI enters the game as SBI Esports Co. has been announced. So this from XRPrightnow.com. Esports. We know esports. They're a form of sport competition using video games. Esports often takes the form of organized multiplayer video game competitions, particularly between professional players individually or as teams. So according to SBI, though, the new company, SBI Esports, will field professional esports teams, manage esports media, and provide services such as esports-related consulting. In anticipation of sustained growth in the field of esports, the company will also explore coordination with partner companies and other groups in Japan and overseas as part of a global initiative. In addition, SBI Esports will contribute to the revitalization of regional economies by helping local governments and regional financial institutions attract esport events. With the establishment of SBI Esports and its entry into the esports business, SBI Holdings expects to boost recognition of the SBI Group by enhancing points of contact with digitally minded generations and by extension to be able to create synergies with the various financial service businesses of the group. So an interesting strategy there, SBI getting in with the digitally minded generations. Obviously, everybody spends money, so maybe there could be a Ripple and XRP connection with this generation of folks down the road, if there is not already. A multi-pronged approach if I've ever seen one. And guys, did you see this recently? @Val5Links on Twitter posted this. Ripple's former director of business development, Daniel Aranda, finally leaves Ripple after a 7-year run. That's right. It's unfortunate, although no ill will here. Daniel Aranda, who is responsible for building Ripple's investment and development arm Spring, has made an announcement about parting ways with Ripple. In his farewell Twitter thread, Aranda writes that he's going to explore something new after ending his impressive 7-year run at Ripple. He says, a bittersweet update. The recent announcement of PayID also coincides with my last days on the team at Ripple. I'll be wrapping up in a few days, and I'm looking forward to exploring something new. So he's been with the company for a while. He joined in 2013, and from 2016 to 2018, he was acting as Ripple's managing director for Europe, focusing on the company's expansion in the region before eventually starting Spring. And he says that working with Ripple was one of the greatest privileges of his career. He says he's learned so much from Ashish Burla, Monica Long, Brad Garlinghouse, Chris Larson, Ethan Beard, and David Schwartz. So maybe it was just time for him to move on. I know there's going to be a lot of speculation about this, perhaps, but we know this space turns around very, very quickly. So to see players in the space come and go, I don't think is too unusual. So Daniel Aranda parting ways with Ripple. I'm sure the Ripple team is wishing him good luck on his new endeavors. And I know a lot of us are very interested in Ripple employees, how much XRP they hold, what their thoughts are on holding XRP, especially when it comes to the bigwigs. And, David Schwartz has given us some insight on his holdings in the past, but he just recently elaborated on his stance in this next tweet thread. Okay, David Schwartz here talking about, so first, it was a tweet thread from SheerCon. I think Joel Katz is doing all this riddle stuff for us. Call me naive, but I feel that he is excited but can't express it due to NDAs, so his mind is paving its way in his traveler's stories, leaving up enough room for interpretation to not harm anyone. Brielle responds, whilst recently selling $1 million worth of XRP to de-risk, and de-risk are his words, not mine. SheerCon responds, de-risking is based on the amount he holds, not on the belief into the asset. If you think David is trying to tell XRP hodlers to hodl via riddles in tweets, but he himself is de-risking by selling $1 million worth of XRP, you are kidding yourself. If NDAs are all that's between current price and moon, David wouldn't need to de-risk. RG23 just called us a cult in this next tweet, and of course it's Twitter, so everybody's going to have their opinions about this. What I'm more interested in is how David Schwartz actually responded to this. So he says, I'll be very, very explicit. Every cryptocurrency, other than stablecoins, is risky to hold. He says the volatility alone demonstrates that. I am not by nature a risk taker, and circumstances have forced me to take more risk than I'm comfortable with. So this alone, guys, when you read into this tweet, we have heard in the past that David Schwartz isn't a gambler. He's not a risk taker. He's happier to have safe investments, and he has publicly come out and stated that in the past. He also states that every cryptocurrency is risky, as we've seen in the last bull run, right? They can pump high, but they can dump far, and I think that that's kind of where we're at with the crypto space, at least at this moment in time. It's still speculative, and he understands that. So the volatility alone demonstrates that. I am not by nature a risk taker, but then he also goes on to say that his circumstances have forced him to become more of a risk taker than he is comfortable with. So, I'm sure part of his deal with Ripple is that he has stock options, and he goes on later. Stock options, XRP holdings, a bunch of other stuff. So let me continue in this next tweet here. He says, fortunately, now listen to this. He says, fortunately, they are good risks in the sense that I think the rewards are commensurate with the risks. So you know what that means, guys? And I know this might be basic for some of you, but I just wanted to bring up this word commensurate in case you don't know what it means. Corresponding in size or degree in proportion. So what that means is the rewards are commensurate with the risks, which means if he thinks it's risky, he also thinks that the rewards will be humongous. So he says, but I have a lot of eggs in the same basket: jobs, stock options, Ripple, PolySign, reputation, crypto holdings, etc. And that's a scary proposition to be in. So inherently, David Schwartz has said he is not a risk taker, but then he says, Nevertheless, though, the rewards will be juicy when this thing pans out, and he does say that he has a lot of eggs in the same basket, i.e., including his job, which is with Ripple, his stock options, which is with Ripple and PolySign, his reputation as a cryptographer who created XRP, his crypto holdings, i.e. his XRP that the company has given him as part of his deal memo, as part of his contract, etc. So this is what he's talking about as all his eggs are in the same basket, and that is a scary proposition to him. Nevertheless, the rewards are commensurate with the risks, which means once all the T's are crossed and all the I's are dotted, Ripple is going to send this thing to the stratosphere, and all this anti-XRP noise, I think, is going to disappear very, very quickly. But guys, that's just my opinion. I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.